Oh, what's going on? Thought I might catch this sunset up here before I head out for it. I set it to vertical streaming. Horizontal streaming because it just kind of looks better right here. We'll see how many people jump in though. I'm definitely aware that like the vertical streams seem to get more views, but when I came up here, it just kind of looked bad. We came up here the other night and it looked super cool because the fence, you couldn't really see the fence at night, but right now it's not quite there yet, so. I can hang out here for about an hour, then I'm about to catch, Gladiator 2, which, yeah, it looks okay. I think it'll be fun. So we're gonna head down to the Grove and check that out. It's pretty quiet out here. I think a lot of people like took off for the holidays. Wait, I'll wave real quick. Hang on. Oh, there I am. Lily Eve said hi. What's up? What's up, Lily? How you doing? How's it going? Just getting in some views, you know. Sun should be going down in less than an hour. Yeah, I'm about to catch this movie and then we'll see what happens after that. I did hear about that live streamer who it looks like they filed for an arrest warrant. So tomorrow I think I'm gonna go down to the courthouse and kind of check that out. They'll probably update the website, but you know, you always have to go to the courthouse to get the most up-to-date documents. In fact, in this city, you have to go to the courthouse to get any documents. They really won't make them available online, which is ridiculous. So I wrote some stories on my Substack, which you can check out. The link is in the description. And so I wrote some stories up there that I had to get a bunch of court documents for a while ago about this attack that happened at UCLA. Anyway, this reporter at, I think it's called the Palestine Institute, it ended up sort of helping them because they were able to do this comprehensive piece that they thanked me for, which is super, super cool of them. And they thanked me at the bottom. The reason I'm bringing that up is that basically they just make it very hard out here to get information. So if I wasn't out here to get those documents, it makes other people's jobs harder. And it shouldn't be like that. So I was definitely glad to help, especially like a young reporter starting out. You know, that was super nice of them to thank me. But it's a shame that you can't get documents out here. And you can subscribe to the Substack. It's totally free, and you can read my independent reporting. Ash said hello, Eric. What's up, Ash? How you doing? The sun's going down. It's a little bright, but I'll turn to the right and you'll be able to see it. But I'm gonna try not to put it directly in there because it's really bright. But actually, I'm just gonna wait because it's like that bright. Yeah, this shot is cool though. Perfect. See, I'll go down to the courthouse tomorrow. I think it's the one downtown, which is way better than me having to take, when I go down to investigate the UCLA attack, I have to go to the airport courthouse, which is by LAX. It's almost 30 miles away. It's like super annoying, to say the least. This one is a lot closer. We are going to do that interview with Film the Police LA. I talked to him today. I know I brought it up a bunch of times, but it is happening. It's just, it's tough with our schedules, which are a little different. But it is happening, I promise. I also want to interview this activist I know out here who's with a group called People's City Council. I was thinking he'd be a really good guest. His name's Richie, so he's pretty well known out here. So I want to get him on too and talk about that. And then, yeah, I'm going to go see Gladiator 2 down at the Grove, which is a big shopping complex. Streamed down there the other day. It's a good view. Man, I should have brought the gimbal. I said that yesterday too. I guess YouTube is really pushing this vertical streaming. I guess to compete with TikTok, which might not even be necessary if they actually ban TikTok, which is interesting. This has to be one of the dumbest countries on the planet. Like, it's got to be up there in the top 10 in terms of like all the things that need fixing. And what are our highest courts working on? Banning TikTok. It's absolutely mind-boggling. Ooh, got my finger in the frame there. Good view for sure. Once the sun gets low enough, I'll walk over there. YRB said wild traffic is light. Yeah, it is pretty light actually. That's the 101 freeway. 101, the lane that's closer to us is the northbound 101. Yeah, I guess I don't know when people are like taking off for the holidays. Exactly. I would assume today is one of the busiest days, but maybe they're not driving, or maybe they already left. When I go down to the Grove later, we'll see, because that place is like a massive shopping complex, so obviously it could be absolutely crazy, or I just don't know. YRB said they're already gone. Yeah, could be. There's Capitol Records. YRB said it was bumper to bumper going through the Cajon Pass last night. Oh yeah, you live up there? That's cool. Like Lebec, like in that area? That's interesting. Lana said, hey, Eric. What's up, Lana? Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Much appreciated. Unapologetic me said, what a view, cement, but still a view. Yeah. I went over to the place I filmed the other day, which people seem to like, but it didn't look quite right, because when I came over here the other night, if you check the last stream, it was night. So I walked over here, framed the shot. YRB said I live across the valley, but in full view of the Cajon Pass. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I might get out later too, after I see the movie. We'll see what's going on. I don't really have much to do today. I'm actually working on a film script right now, also, which is based on some of my experiences covering the radical right and stuff like that. I met a screenwriter and I was telling him a few stories about like hunting Nazis and stuff, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, you should write that up, because not a lot of people have those stories." And I was like, "Yeah, that's a good point, man." Maybe it'll be. So anyway, the point being, I'm working on that. JPEG said, my son's flying out from LA tonight, back home to upstate New York. All right, well, I hope you guys have a great Christmas. Great Christmas. It's going to be cold there, I'm sure. It's cold there right now, right? Tell him to bring his coat. I'm sure you already did. Lana said, what do you think? Oh, sorry. There are still like people walking back here. Okay. Lana said, what do you think of the Jan 6 prisoners? I mean, do you want the blunt truth? Obviously, I can't see where, I mean, they got what they deserved. They'll, will they be pardoned? There's a strong possibility. Should that happen, it's highly likely there's going to be some people who are extremely angry at me. But I'm not going to spend too much time thinking about it. It is what it is. But believe me, there's a lot of people who, that's going through their head too. If some of these characters hit the streets again, they'll be quiet for a time, like a lot of people are when they've gotten in trouble, but they'll be back to what they were doing before in no time. Trust me. They are wrapping up a few of the cases. There's been a lot of arrests lately, so. But yeah, could they all be pardoned? Sure. I mean, it doesn't change any of the work that happened, the work that we did. It was important work, and JPEG said freezing, a lot of snow. Happy Christmas. Absolutely, happy Christmas. Yeah, I'll be out here. It'll be interesting. YRB said they'll have been rewarded for their behavior and think that's appropriate action. Yeah, that's, I would say, pretty accurate, honestly. Very accurate. So far, it's been pretty quiet out there, in the 3 years since January 6th. I mean, what I mean is in terms of like the street brawls and things that used to happen out here. That's around the time when I met Film the Police LA, because I know a lot of you guys follow him too, and a lot of other people. We kind of met while we were covering those protests, observing those protests, and that was happening every week. Every week there was something. A lot of them have fled LA. They left. I mean, not even just the ones who got arrested and all that. I mean, just it got quieter for a while. But that was a crazy time, as everybody remembers, right? I mean, 2020 was pretty. There was so much going on. I've done what I can, I mean, that's all you can do. Norma said, could there be a civil war? There already is one, Norma. I mean, if you want the blunt. It's called the slow-moving civil war. That's a phrase that Jeff Charlotte uses. It's just always going on, but it's simmering under the surface. You know what I mean? So I'm not saying that things can't be saved, but like it is the slow-moving kind of civil war. I never did anything to anybody. That's what's crazy. I was minding my own business like 8 years ago. I wasn't really doing any of this stuff. I had a different life, but I told you guys they have that expression, what radicalized you? And it was when Trump made fun of the man with the disability, the reporter at the New York Times. That really changed me after that. Adam said, I become more optimistic by the day. Their incompetence is salvation. Yeah, that's a good point, Adam. I mean, especially the ones at the top, like, I don't know, let's say an Elon Musk, like, they care about money. They're oligarchs, right? They care about, it's the corruption that's really what they want, is the money. and the power and all that. But if they can use these social issues to, rile people up, obviously they will. Yeah, it's hard to know what's going to happen. We've already been surprised. RB, the problem says they still exist and they will feel justified in more violence if the pardons happen. Yeah, that's a problem, no doubt. RB said dealing with the corruption and the radical right parallels with Scientology. D said, yes, Eric, that's what did it for me. Yeah, Serge Kowalewski. Yeah, fuck all that. After that, I was like definitely a different person. Adam said fascism is historically inefficient. People become exhausted with it. Right on. Definitely. D said I have a disabled adult daughter who lives in a group home. Yeah, I mean, it's still hard to believe that happened, but, with Trump, I mean, his speech. Good view. It's like almost that time where I can walk over to where the other view is. D said only a few called him out on it. Yeah. YRB said I started radicalizing, as you suggest, when the use of torture. Yeah, actually, that's a good point. I got to say that maybe what's the phrase, memory hold it, but you're right, actually. That might have been even for me before that. There's a whole book about that. It's called Torture Team. It's actually a really good book about the war crimes that were committed by the Bush administration. Yeah, that was when I guess you do kind of memory hole it because things got so bad later that I forgot how angry I was at Bush and Cheney. Marsha said, hi, Eric. What's up, Marsha? YRB said, if you're not making money for the oligarchs, you're in the way. Yeah. As someone who's investigated oligarchs in a lot of other places, it is wild. Like, obviously America's always had oligarchs, but this stuff is like, we're definitely like on that tipping point where you're seeing the stuff like in Elon Musk, for example, this level of corruption where like he has no role at all in the government and is just like dictating policy. Of course, that can have its dangers too, because in other countries, like let's say Russia, if you start going a little too far there with the guy who's actually in charge, you're done. You're done as an oligarch. So that's a really, that's pretty risky. That's why they're all going with the President Musk thing. They're trying to like, basically, it's a strategy. Let me try walking over there now. Let's see how it looks. Oh, that's cool. Check that out. Minus the car's parked. Make sure I don't get hit by a car here. Man, if they didn't have the fence here, this would be so sweet. I mean, I can hop up on here. It's just a little tricky. For a $200 super chat, I will stand up here until morning. I'm one foot. Now, let me see if I can get up here. Nice. YRB said the promotion of ignorance or non-education was something that radicalized me. Adam said I was radicalized by being on the right and realizing none of it was real. That's interesting, Adam. I'm going to actually get down here. Not because I don't want to stand there, but the view wasn't as good as I thought. D said, do not hop up on there, young man. This gate was open the other day, so I was able to go out there and get a pretty cool view, but it looks like they padlocked it. The problem is the perfect shot, it's like right here, but that's also in the middle of the road. So, as much as I enjoy getting the good shots, you know. I guess I'll post up here. I gotta leave by like, I think by like 5:20, which is insane because the movie is only like 6-7 miles away. So yeah, I think tomorrow, like I was saying on the beginning of the stream, I'm gonna go down to the courthouse, and I'm curious. I'm gonna get some documents on that live streamer who has been indicted, or rather, it looks like they requested an arrest warrant on 26 counts, including disobeying a restraining order and some other stuff. The websites are like super complicated here. I went through that before on a recent investigation where it was like super hard to understand, and that's why you have to get the documents. And then even if you ask them what's going on, like you email the district attorney, you often get like, you don't get really a good answer. It was just like very frustrating. That's one of the complaints that was made about Gascon's office, even aside from people who disagreed with him ideologically, was that his office was incompetent and not, you know, they didn't respond to requests from people like reporters or whatever. So. RB said I'm a financial conservative and I believe individuals should be less regulated than corporations. Right on. Corporations definitely need more regulation, I'll tell you that. The other thing is that the way wealthy people can hide their wealth, you know, not pay taxes, it's like it's this invisible effect because we don't see what would have happened if they had paid their taxes. Like everybody on this live stream pays more taxes, it's likely, than like a Jeff Bezos, right? Because if you put all your money in certain investments or you tie up all your money in the stock market, right, you can get away with not paying the same amount of taxes. Yeah, see, I could walk over there, but the thing is, the fence just kind of like ruins it. Actually, it looks a little better now. Yeah, it looks a little bit better. The fence doesn't look as bad. Looks like a Beastie Boys video from the 90s or something. Like a skate park video. This was weird before. Somebody left like a children's book right here. This is like the weirdest neighborhood that like you always see stuff like that. Like why is this book just sitting here? YRB said, well, I'm sure you can get help from Scientology and get that road closed for 4 days. Yeah. I do reflect more recently, especially how this like criminal cult just openly operates with impunity, like that this is still going on. It is pretty wild. And that the police agencies and a lot of the agencies turn a blind eye, sometimes working off duty. You know, you guys know all that stuff. It's pretty wild, isn't it? You know. D said, didn't Bezos and Zuckerberg just donate $1 million? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I know Zuckerberg. I think it was Bezos, and I think Sam Altman from OpenAI did. Just open bribery. Isn't that amazing? You know, it's crazy. A childhood friend of mine became like very powerful in those circles. It's kind of interesting, the different paths that we took, I guess. I talked to him a little bit not long ago. Like, who would think? It's like you got these two, like, we were friends when we were like, from the time we were like 4 years old. You got these two kids, and then like, you don't know what they're going to grow up to be, I guess. It's kind of interesting, huh? You just can't predict that. YRB said someone needs to do some legislation. Oh, the inauguration. That's just straight up like money laundering, more or less, because that money, nobody knows where it goes. It's totally, more or less, it's totally opaque. On that note, someone whose work I really like, her name is Anna Masoglio, and I've quoted her once or twice in stories. So Anna used to work at Open Secrets. She's like a really good investigator. She just started her own Substack. It's called Influence Brief. So I definitely recommend subscribing to Influence Brief if you guys like follow the money type investigations. Unfortunately, Open Secrets, which did vital work, laid off a bunch of people, which is really horrible. But that's what happens now in journalism. So luckily, she started her own Substack. Adam says Scientology is virus conscious and bankrolls Leigh Dundas. Do they bankroll her? I mean, for those who don't know, Leigh Dundas is not only a Scientologist, but she is a right-wing organizer who she was at January 6th, at least at the Stop the Steal rallies, as I recall. I don't remember too much about what Leigh Dundas did that day, but I know she was speaking at least. I don't remember her participation. YRB said we've seen it happen more, that the city of LA is making public access. Oh, it's super hard. Most of my records requests get denied. The first time, at least. I got one the other day. Which was nice. But it was about my landlord harassing me, and I got the full case file. You know, which is a longer story that I'm going to be talking about. But see, I won that case with the city attorney on my own, by the way, which is kind of cool. But that was a little easier to get me because I was one of I'm the affected party, right? So when I requested it, like, they sort of know that. It's really hard to get stuff now from LAPD. I mean, you could get it, but it's just like all they're trying to do, just like these health insurance companies, is wear you down. They just want to wear you down. So you're like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if that's exactly the right analogy, but you get so tired of writing, you're like, guys, like, can you just approve this request for me already? So, and then you got to get a lawyer and all that. Unapologetically me said, has it changed your friend? I don't know. Yeah, they run in very different circles. They're running with the big dogs now, on the Trump side, just to be honest. And I don't know. We talked a little bit, but it was like, over. It wasn't like in person. So, I mean, like when I say that, I mean they're running at the top of that whole thing, like the Musk level almost, and it is crazy. Like. D said, what's a Substack? Oh, it's just a platform for writers and creators. You can subscribe, D. It's totally free. It's basically just a lot of independent journalists use it, or, any kind of writer, really. Like, Substack has its flaws because, like, yes, it is, like, annoyingly, it is used by some people who are, like, bad actors, you know what I mean? But the simple... like people who are like anti-vaccine and all that. But the simple fact of the matter is like, I have to use the best platform that's easy for people to read. And I tried a bunch of them, and that one has been better. So, it is what it is, I guess. Do you say, where do you look for Substacks, or how do you know if someone has one? Oh, you just go to substack.com. Or like I said, you could click on the link in the description of this video for mine. I think it's at the top. And you can look up other people's. What are some of the ones that I like? Other than mine, of course, right? The one I mentioned, Influence Brief, which is a new one by my friend Anna Masoglia. Who else? I really like Ken Klippenstein. He's an independent journalist. Ken has a Substack. And you guys can subscribe too. You can subscribe for free, or you can, subscribe with money. I mean, I just want people to subscribe. The point is to get the message out there. That's why I don't use paywalls. I refuse to ever paywall anything. I'm just not going to do that. And that's what I like about Substack too. It gives you the option to not do that. Ken is a great reporter. I mean, Ken's one of the few people who actually makes, I think, a pretty good living. But Ken, I've interviewed Ken a couple times when I had my podcast, Counterintelligence. when I was getting started. Ken came on, and he's a very funny guy. It's good to have these platforms, I mean, I'm still going to write for other people, and I am still doing that, but lately I've become interested in just, I don't know, there is a certain kind of satisfaction when the draft looks like you wanted it, which absolutely 100% of the time does not happen when you write for others. That's the real devil's bargain. They give you the platform, right? Like I've written for Rolling Stone, right? That's a huge platform. I was, very fortunate to be able to write articles for them and to keep writing articles for them if I want, or anybody. There's a trade-off though. You don't have a huge amount of power. I mean, they have the power. So you can push back, and believe me, I'm one of the most annoying writers. Like I think I actually drive editors like insane. I don't mean to, but I'm just very like particular. I'm not really like that in a lot of parts of my life, but I'm always like, I am like very annoying in that way. Because you kind of have to be a little bit. They're like, oh my God, here we go. I think one editor was about to jump out the window once. And then I was like, it was just going on and on, but at the same time, the work comes out better, This one editor sent me a message one time after I'd sent him like the millionth message. He's like, very tersely, he's like, I think it's good. And then I knew we were done. Like I pushed as far as I could, and I was done. He said, LOL, yeah. Oh, you guys have no idea, trust me. It's like a different person. He was like, I think we're done. Adam said, every journalist should have their annoying the editor Ben Bradley move. I'm trying to remember that, I assume we're talking like Woodward and Bernstein, or because it's supposed to be the opposite. Usually it's supposed to be like the editor is the one who's like bugging you, which does happen, but a lot of times I'm the one who's like annoying them. Right, my name is on it. It's a high pressure thing. That's part of why I am like that. When your name's on it, it is a lot of pressure. I mean, it's like a lot of people are going to read that. And if they don't like it, or there's a mistake, or sorry, a bee just flew next to my head. If there's a mistake, that hurts. And then with social media, you start getting a lot of abuse. Everybody is sending you messages. That's why I think editors' names should be on pieces. Like, I've never understood that. Why is the editor's name not on the piece? It should be written by, and then below that or at the bottom, it should be edited by. More accountability, for everybody. Just went blurry. I don't know why it does that. It just like randomly goes blurry. There we go. I'm probably going to head to the Grove pretty soon. Got to see the Gladiator too. I mean, I don't really think it looks that great, but I really need to just get out and, do something. And so going with some folks. D said, must be frustrating when you submit a project and they want to whittle it down to fewer words. Yeah, what's funny though? A lot of times it's almost the opposite. I'm like a very economic writer, for lack of a better phrase. And a lot of times I'm like, okay, we got it. And then they just want to sometimes they want to honestly blow the thing up, add so much stuff. And I'm like, but we already, we have what we need. Because I'm a big believer that in making things accessible to people, and that's a problem. Like in journalism, these like stories that people can't finish because it's like so long. So I've definitely written those, but a lot of times I'm like, hey, like let's just let's just get the point across. And they'll be like, oh, we got to add all this stuff, and I'm like, but we gave them the point, we gave them what they needed, but sometimes it does go the other way, That's what's fun about publishing on your own. Is it's like what I like about my Substack is that, like, I published this piece the other day about how CNN reporter Clarissa Ward accidentally freed a war criminal during a segment, and you guys could read about it. They literally had a guard shoot the lock off the door in this intelligence facility. They freed this guy. They aired this bullshit segment, because that's what it was, about how they freed this guy, and then it turned out later that he lied to them, that he was an intelligence officer, and now he's missing. So I titled it, because it's my Substack, I titled it CNN reporter successfully frees war criminal. Because I'm trying to get a point across, right? And a lot of times, like, let's say you were writing that in like the New York Times, there's no way they're going to let you title something like that. It's going to be real anodyne, right? For lack of a better phrase. And that's just not really my thing, I like to kind of like grab people a little bit. And then when I talked to CNN, to get a comment, it was just like, there's just like no accountability. Like, it's like, dude, you made a mistake. Like, anybody can make a mistake. I can make a mistake, right? And of course I've made mistakes. So you got to own them. You got to be like, look, we made a mistake, and then you just move on. But they literally like just did not own the mistake. Adam said you want to Adam, I would love to get a majority report. I've met Sam Cedar a couple times, and I feel like now I'm at the place where, like, I would seriously, like, if anybody knows Sam Cedar, has any connections, that would be awesome. So I've met him like once or twice, and yeah, maybe I'll try to like push that more, or like reach out again. Marsha said my father was an editor for the LA Times. Nice. When he edited my thesis, omit the needless word. Was said a lot. I love your dad. That's... Oh my God, that is funny. I gotta read that comment again. He edited your thesis like he was editing like one of his writers. That's amazing. D. Savage said, I'm sure quite embarrassing to CNN and Clarissa Ward, who, by the way, yeah, Clarissa Ward's done some good work. Like, that's the thing, like, it's not, that's the thing, like, it's totally, like I said, anybody can make a mistake. And it's really, when you're playing at that level, right, that's the top level of the field, there's a lot of, see, that's why editors are so important, because I don't know what happened there, but I'm wondering, because she is like so famous, that there was a situation where it's like, I don't know if anyone pushed back or not, but sometimes when people are really powerful in any field like that, it's like, oh, then they kind of have the power, and sometimes you're in the middle, so you don't see it. That's the point of the editor. It's supposed to be a person who's outside of it, who's like a voice to kind of talk to you and be like, look, I think we need to fact check this before we just air this whole segment. The big mistake they made in that segment, like, if that had been live TV, I don't think people really would have been upset because it happened live, right? Like, things happen on a live, right? But they edited it into this segment that clearly was trying to be like, we did this thing, and this is, we basically freed this guy, and it was bullshit. And it came off like, and she's like, it just came off like real, like, phony kind of. But them not owning it to me is wild. Like after a couple days, I was like, all right, well, they also kind of like put down the organization that actually broke this whole thing, which is called Verify, which is a fact-checking organization. They referred to them in their article as Verify, who says they are a Syrian fact-checking. Like that's like such bullshit. Like you're basically saying like they're nothing, right? That's like so. Like, that's when I was like, you know what, man? Like, and then I published CNN's comment to me in full, and then I'll move on to something else. But like they did this other thing, which is more of a problem now. Without asking me, they sent me this comment, and they were like, oh, this part you could use, and this part is on background. It's like, bro, like, it's like, I didn't agree to that. Like, that's just not, and that's becoming a more of a problem now. So I published the whole thing, because you can't do that. Also, the person there who wrote me has to be referred to as a CNN spokesperson. It's like, which I ended up doing because I made my own editorial choice, but that's another thing that is like annoying. You're paid a salary, and part of that salary is that your name is out there, just like my name is out there. You know what I mean? Like you work in communications. So anyway, it's kind of like this, a lot of concerning developments in that field. Ingrid said, great article, even though my brain goes too fast for reading. Nice. Sam was a comedian, Adam said. Yeah, Sam and I have a similar background. Actually, Sam and I also went to the same college. He's just older than me, but we talked about that a little bit when I met him. We actually have a very similar background where Sam was, successful, I think, for a while as an actor, and then he made this decision, like, I don't know the full story, but he's a smart guy, and it's an amazing accomplishment. How many people can say they built their own really independent media outlet that I think Sam probably makes a good living. I mean, and he's on YouTube every day. YRB said I was in a group writing situation and it really destroyed people's ego that I would not argue over. Yeah, group writing, I mean, some people love it. I think, I always tell people with writing, whatever works for you. Whatever gets the job done. Some people like writers groups. Whatever gets the draft on the page, Jen said, when did you start streaming? Did you mean just generally, or it was like a year ago when the Scientology protests were kind of like midway through? Today I started about an hour ago. Because I noticed the other day when I came up here that a lot of people like the view. So, this is cool. I might even go live later, but I'm going to see this movie first, Gladiator 2. Adam said one of the other actors from Bob's Burgers is in jail for January 6th. Yeah, Jay, always a good idea to, man, I wonder who the person was who identified him first. Like, bro, I've like caught a bunch of people at J6. Like, all right, I've never really told this story, and I'm just going to say it maybe only one time, but like, I more or less identified my own neighbor at January 6th. That is a true story. I don't know if I'll ever tell the full story for a lot of different reasons, but that much is true. So, swear to God, my actual neighbor. Yeah, his name's Jay Johnston, right? Yeah, there were name, like, for lack of a better phrase, like name people there. Like there was an Olympian there, right? That really tall guy. D said need to split. Thanks, D. Yeah, I'm gonna have to split too in a second. I got to get down to the movie. I might go live later. We'll see. Like, I want to cover, now that I'm like more comfortable doing this, I want to cover more events, but there's just not much going on because of the holidays, I guess. The first thing that I know that's like on the calendar is there's going to be like what looks like a pretty big protest on Inauguration Day out here, January 20th. So I'll probably go down there, or maybe I'll stream that. I'm not sure. I know there's some big marches in DC. I actually kind of wanted to go to DC, but it's really difficult for me to, I'm not obviously very close to there. It's hard for me to get out there. Adam said vlog day. All right, y'all. Yeah, I'm gonna go check out Gladiator 2. Maybe I'll do my review later. So I'll catch up with you guys. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. If you click on the link in the bio, you can subscribe to the Substack, and you can support this channel in any number of ways. There's a lot of ways you can support us, so I appreciate that. And anyway, have a good day.